What's going on, everybody? It's Korr here, and welcome to Ford Mustang: The Legend Lives. Finally, after a month of announcing that I was going to make a video on this game. So here we are on Ford Mustang: The Legend Lives. This is a game made by Technics and published by 2K Games, released in 2005, exclusively for the PlayStation 2 and original Xbox. What surprises me personally is that this game is part of the same series as Ford Racing 3, which I already did a video on. It came out a year after that, and it's strange because this game specifically features only Ford Mustangs, and it only came out on consoles of the time. The best part is, this is my third time filming a video on this game, after the previous two videos fell through. Let me explain what happened. Basically, the first time I filmed the video, I had problems with the audio levels, being that the game audio was way too loud and you couldn't hear what I was saying. So I refilmed the video yesterday after seeing that the first one had problems with the audio levels, only to get the very same audio level problems, being that again the game audio was way too loud, you couldn't hear me. Problem was, I used the same audio levels for the system sounds on the Crew 2, and you could hear me just fine. So this is the third time I'm filming this video, and because I'm sick of it at this point, I disabled the game audio completely, so sadly you won't be able to hear any of the game audio. Right now you'll just be able to hear my voice, and I know how much you love hearing that. But that's just the way things are, because I didn't want to risk messing it up a third time, because if it messed up this time, I just wouldn't upload it at all. So let's go ahead and go into single player mode. There's one thing I have to talk about with this game that I really don't like, and this is the NTSC version of the game, the American release, and part of that is I cannot change to metric units. I looked everywhere and it just won't let me change to metric units, which is a problem because I use metric units in day-to-day life. I can still read miles per hour, but I'd prefer, metric units. It's just what I'm used to, but it doesn't matter. Let's just go ahead and jump into the arcade mode, specifically Quick Race. So when you select your mode, you get to select your preferred model of Mustang. There's quite a few Mustangs in this game. Well, obviously there would be, it's called the Ford Mustang: The Legend Lives. So I'm gonna go with the 1971 Mach 1 here in Grabber Green, which actually looks really cool. I hadn't seen this color before that, so it's really nice. After that, you get to select your track, and there's a few tracks from around the US, and they're all fairly accurate to their real-life counterparts. There's Long Beach, New Orleans, Chicago, Miami, New York City, San Francisco, LA, and that's it. Maybe there's more in the career mode. I haven't unlocked them yet because I haven't played through the career mode. So let's go ahead and settle for LA first. Right off the bat, this game might look kind of familiar to you in terms of graphics and physics and stuff like that. And maybe even the UI as well. We'll come back to that after I finish this race. So obviously, because I'm not filming the game audio, you can't hear it, but the car sounds in this game are actually kind of decent, especially for, 2005. They're fairly distinct between each other. All the different Mustangs sound different. Oops. Goddamn pushover AI. All the Mustangs sound different between each other. The sound design in general is pretty good. The soundtrack is alright, but I was kind of scared that it might be copyrighted, so even when I do play the game with audio, I still disable the soundtrack, because it's just rock, and I like to have a distinct racing game soundtrack, but that's just me. Does this game still look familiar to you? Like, with the track barriers and the fact that you score points every time you do like a drift or something? Again, keep that in mind. I'll refresh your brain once we're done with this race. No, you don't, buddy. Go ahead and crash into that SUV, why not? So yeah, this would be my very first video without game audio in the background. Again, I didn't want to risk messing this video up for a third time. I hope you'll all understand. Come on! The AI can be assholes sometimes in this game, as you can see. Well, just because you have a newer Mustang makes you cooler, buddy? Huh? Oh no, now he took... They're all driving the same Mustang, just in different colors.
It's the Spider-Man meme all over again, except I'm not a part of it because I'm in an older Mustang.
So, actually, the timing of this video would be kind of interesting because a few days ago, Ford celebrated 56 years of the Ford Mustang. See, the first Mustang was made in 1964, and it's still going on to this day with the release of the new Shelby GT500 and stuff like that. That's impressive. It's, well, the longest running muscle car definitely is. It was the first of its kind. And I'll always prefer the Mustang over the Camaro or the Challenger. You know, I love the Challenger, don't get me wrong, and the Camaro... It's not that I don't like the Camaro, it's made by General Motors, and I kind of despise General Motors, to be honest. I'll always pick the Mustang over those any day. It's just kind of a matter of bias, even though I have no reason to be biased towards a Mustang. I've never owned one, I've never owned a Ford model. My parents have, but not me. But I'm still a huge fan of the Ford Mustang, and I'll still choose a Mustang any day of the week over a Challenger or a Camaro. That's just me, though. Alright, we're almost done with this stupid race, and I'm probably gonna get past. Feels really eerie playing this game with no audio. It's just a good thing that there's no story mode or cutscenes to listen to. There's only the annoying-ass announcer, which, just like Ford Racing 3, has to say the menu option every time you select it, which totally doesn't get annoying after a while. Nope, not at all. And I like how we're outside the track marker on the minimap. What's that all about? Like, why is it doing that? And across the line. And now it's time to refresh your memory as to why this game might look familiar to you. And now we're doing almost top speed as we cross the line. Barely. With an extremely damaged car and, not a whole lot of driving skill, but you know how I am with this type of stuff. Yes, this game is indeed, seems to be based anyway on the same engine as Street Racing Syndicate. You know, that 2004 racing game where the whole point was to shag as many women as possible? Oh, and unlock the new car. One thing that's really annoying about this game is that you're forced to watch the replay and the whole countdown until you are allowed to skip that. Really annoying, pointless. Alright, let's do a race in the career mode now, and we'll call this video off. Because there's not a lot of stuff in this game that's keeping me from playing it even more. So this is the new Mustang we unlocked. But I'm not going to use it here. I'm going to use one of the newer Mustangs, actually. Not this disgrace to the Ford Mustang name, but this thing here. The Mustang LX50. The only, as far as I know, the only Mustang in history to use a Ford badge on the front as opposed to a Mustang badge. This game is actually, in my opinion, a missed opportunity to use the Four Eyes Fox body with the double headlight design, but that's just me. Alright, let's do New York City for this one, and we'll call it off. So, as you might have been able to tell in this video, this is a very bare-bones racing game. There's no story mode, there's no, like, you know, particularly huge incentive to keep playing. It's just a racing game commemorating, or rather advertising, the Ford Mustang. And the whole point is just to win these races and progress through the career mode, unlock every Mustang in the game, and that's about it. I could understand why this game disappeared into the abyss of obscurity back in 2005. Remember, this is 2005, and this game was released on the same platform on which that same year Midnight Club 3 and Need for Speed Most Wanted came out. And Gran Turismo 4 as well, so it's pretty clear to see why no one remembers this game. And that confused me as well, because when I ran that poll on Twitter, what episode of Korr Plays, what should be in the next episode of Korr Plays, this won with like 60% of all the votes, and that really confused me, but seems like more than one person remembers this game from their childhood. I like how New York City has exclusively Ford Mustang advertisements on Times Square. Was that supposed to be Times Square? I don't think the government would be pleased with having exclusively Ford Mustang advertisements all over Times Square, but that's just me, I guess. Oh, I crashed into the Chevy Impala, and the 65 Mustang overtook me, and the 67 Fastback as well. Bro. Oh, no. Oh, and the Mustang 2 overtook me. That's embarrassing. Like, that the Pinto-based compact Mustang overtook me. That's embarrassing. Bye. Because this time I actually have the power advantage over the others. Isn't this the same generation Mustang that, like, Matt Farah had as a project car with the wide body and the HRE wheels? That's really cool. I'd love to own one of these Mustangs as a project car for myself one day, but I think the import laws where I live would have something to say about that. I wonder if we can cut through the track right there. Probably not, because we might get reset. It's not that we wouldn't be allowed to, because if these are the same track barriers as Street Racing Syndicate, then they're not barriers at all, they're just guides, but we would probably get reset back onto the track automatically, so not worth a try. And across the line we go. Wow, that was boring. Not because of the fact that there was no audio, but this game is kinda boring, to be honest. I'm just being honest here. It is kind of boring, and I don't think I'm going to continue playing it after I'm done with this video. And I love this, by the way. Once the replay finishes, it defaults to race again. So if you like spam the X key trying to skip the replay, you might click race again and it might restart the race for you, which is always fun. Well, that's about it for Ford Mustang The Legend Lives. I hope you all enjoyed this episode of Korr Plays. There will be more Korr Plays coming soon. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.